So first time we went over a whole bunch of stuff about kind of what you had going on, what your background was, and today we're going over what you're doing about it. So like we talked about, you've got 3 routines. You'll have your warm-up, your between sets, and your cool down. Your warm-up is designed to be a kind of progression from whole body warm-up to hands specifically. Your between sets is designed to be a mental reset, and you just keep your hands warm. And your cool down is designed to be something slow and relaxed to kind of help you wind down after competitive hype.
Cool.
I will say that a lot of these are going to be similar to what Romanova has.
Awesome.
Because unsurprisingly, a lot of the same things are helpful for both of you. And you both kind of get hyped up by lifting, so you've actually got the same warm-up, the progression from like things that hype you up to things that calm you down a little bit. In your case, though, some of the kind of tweaks that I made are to address what you specifically mentioned about how sometimes your pinky and your ring finger are getting cold on you. And also that you've got history of piriformis syndrome.
Right.
So we're going to do some fun combined stretches there.
Okay, cool.
All right, so first things first, we'll go over your warm-up.
Okay.
It will probably come as no surprise to you that there are squats involved in your warm-up.
Yeah!
Because, like I told Romanova, you guys, your bodies associate doing squats with, like, about to do badass shit.
Yeah.
Namely, lift really heavy things up and down. And that kind of mindset isn't a bad thing. So, get up so I can demo this. First thing you're going to do is 10 ass to grass squats. So all the way down, all the way up.
Okay.
Deep as you can, really just working on hip mobility.
Okay.
Good form. You know what good form looks
Yeah.
like. For anybody who doesn't know what good form looks like on a squat, good form on a squat involves keeping your glutes set, so squeezing your butt, keeping your knees from going forward too far over your toes, and also keeping your knees from going in. So you don't want your knees to go toward each other, you don't want them to go too far forward, you want your butt to go back. Second thing you're going to do is you're going to do 10 shoulder rolls. 10 big circles back. Oh god, I'm clicking today.
That feels so good. I received the truck at work, so like I'm sometimes more tense than I think I am.
Yeah, the goal with this is, again, we're progressing from whole body to specifically hands, and we want everything to get warm, which means we want to warm up the core, because your body's response to the core being cold is, I got to keep all my blood here. I got to give nothing out to anything else because all the essential stuff is here and here. If this is warm, your body's like, I got blood to spare. I can send that elsewhere. Next, you'll do 10 wrist rolls each direction.
Okay.
The goal for these is as big of a circle as you can manage. On any given day, that might differ. You might have had a lot of work the day before. You might be a little bit tighter. That's okay as long as you're feeling a little bit of a stretch. On some days, a stretch will take a smaller circle. On some days, you'll have to go all the way out to your edges to get a bigger stretch. And that's okay. Just operate within the range you have that day.
Okay, cool.
Then you'll do 10 tendon glides, which I'm going to come up closer to the camera so you can see it. And it's just rolling down and rolling up. It will feel like a weird motion. I'm also going to recommend starting to make this a habit early because otherwise it will feel tiring on your tendons.
Oh, I feel it.
Yeah. If that ever gets too much, if that is wearing out your forearm too much, making it too tired, you can also do here instead.
It's
which
like
makes it look like you're doing some like kind of voguing stuff. This is also great for anybody who is into like voguing or what's the glowing gloves fingertip like dancing.
I don't know what that's called, and I've
But
seen a lot of people incorporate it, and they have like really dexterous hands, and I'm like, I can't do that.
I cannot do that either. And then your last one is just going to be 10 hands wide open, hands closed as tight as you can.
Oh, okay. So like,
if you have gotten your nails done recently, do not close your fists as tight as you can. You'll end up like digging them into your palms. And
I pretty much do my own nails, so it's not like I got a manicure. Do you?
Mine are always short because PT.
Yeah.
Things.
Do I keep my thumb on the outside or the inside?
Doesn't matter. If you have enough mobility in your thumb that getting it into here feels like a good stretch, awesome. If you're feeling particularly tight and that doesn't feel terribly good, that is okay to keep it on the outside.
Okay. So out as far as I can.
Yep. Open. Closed.
Open. I'm trying to see which one. Inside and outside doesn't really feel that different, but
yeah, it's still a good thing to get the thumb moving on that way. So if there's no difference sensation-wise, tuck the thumb in.
That feels really good.
Yeah. This is designed to take about 5 to 10 minutes at most.
Okay.
Because I want this to be something that you can do like quick and ready.
Mm-hmm.
Your between set stuff is actually even shorter. And it's stuff that's designed to be done all in sitting. If you can, it's not a bad idea to do some of it in standing. But basically, I want to make sure that you're able to quickly transition in between matches, and that you're not, most importantly, that you're not pissing off your TOs or your
doing a squat right in front of the setup. Just like shaking around.
I have too many friends who are TOs and volunteer pools captains to like interfere with their duties.
Yeah,
so I'm taking that into consideration here. So first thing you'll do is going to be harder for me to show on screen. So I'm going to scoot back. You're going to do 10 calf raises.
Oh, okay, awesome.
The idea being, as I scoot forward, you've been sitting still for a little while. You want to make sure nothing's pooling down on your feet too much. Also, it just feels nice to move those after you've been sitting still for too long. Second one you're going to do is 10 what I call no monies, which the formal name of them is scapular retraction with shoulder external rotation. But
oh, wonderful.
I call them no monies because they look like you're reaching into your pocket saying, I've got no money.
Oh.
So you're going to be sitting up nice and straight, shoulders pink back.
Okay.
And your hands are just going to turn out to the side. You'll notice my elbows are staying right next to my sides. They're not going anywhere.
Yep.
So it's just a rotation out and back in. And the most important part of this one, it isn't about where your hands are going. The really important part is here. At your shoulder blades, so that they're coming back and in.
Okay. So essentially back and in.
Right.
And
this
then...
is a chest opener.
Cool.
You should be taking a deep breath in as you rotate out, deep breath out as you rotate in. So this is the part that's really going to help with the mental reset, because that deep breathing kind of brings down your cortisol levels. Cortisol being that what we typically associate with anxiety.
Yes.
But cortisol is also involved in like hype and effort. So
and just that
you want to have at least a little bit of it. You
don't
want to have so much that it's overwhelming you.
Right.
And then in your case, we're doing a kind of combined stretch that's designed specifically for your piriformis stuff and for your ring and pinky finger concerns.
Oh, awesome.
So half of the stretch is up top. You've probably seen and you've probably done a stretch like this before, right?
Yep, we do that kind of stuff at work at just, even in a group stretch in the morning. We do that kind of stuff all the time. So
instead of doing it with the whole hand, you're going to grip your pinky and your ring finger.
Okay.
And you're specifically going to bias those two fingers as you stretch.
So
they're the ones who are going to get the most stretch.
I already feel it. I mean...
And that's the other thing. When it comes to this stretch and the next stretch I'm going to show you, again, you want to work within the range that you have that day.
Okay.
Some days, this is as far as you're going to be able to get, and that'll be enough of a stretch. Some days you'll be all the way out here, and that's fine too. Again, as long as it's feeling like a stretch, then it's doing it.
Cool.
Hold that for 30 seconds. All of your stretches are held for 30 seconds. So the other part of that stretch, not like a do this and then do another thing. You're going to be doing two things at once. You're going to be doing that while also sitting in a piriformis stretch.
Patting my head and rubbing my belly at the same time, or rubbing my head and patting my belly at the same time.
Way easier. So for your piriformis stretch, I'm going to scoot back so that my cam actually picks this up.
Okay.
Do not run over my cat. She would not be very pleased with me if I ran over. So you're going to have your ankle kind of across your knee.
Okay.
And you can lean into this a little bit if you want to. So while you're stretching this hand here, you can be leaning it down onto your knee.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, the camera can't really see me doing it, I guess, but I feel that in my butt. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to do sitting like this for a full minute. You'll do 30 seconds like this.
Okay.
I can. And then you'll do 30 seconds on your other hand.
Okay. And
you might be thinking, but wait, I haven't stretched my other piriformis yet. Good news, you get to do that too. So, cat, please keep your paws out of, thank you. While you're doing your other side piriformis stretch, going to be doing a stretch into wrist flexion, also biasing your index and pinky fingers.
Okay.
So instead of turning this way, you're going to turn this way.
Okay. So essentially this opposite direction, like this.
Yes, you'll feel this one across the back of your forearm.
Yep.
Now, as you're doing this one, if you feel it more across the kind of curve of your wrist instead of up into your forearm,
Yep.
make sure, in that case, release your pinky and ring finger and take all of your fingers underneath.
Okay. Yeah, now I feel it for sure.
That way you feel a bit more up your forearm.
Yeah.
And it may be on some days you're tight enough that you are able to feel this with just biasing those two fingers. But if you're not, I would much rather have you make sure that you're doing it with good form and not putting too much stress across your wrists, and take all those fingers under instead.
Cool.
Yep. So you'll be doing this one for 30 seconds on each hand while sitting in one piriformis stretch.
Okay.
You'll be doing this one for 30 seconds on each hand while sitting in the other leg piriformis stretch.
Got it.
All right. Did that between set thing make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, once I kind of like go through it once
Yeah.
myself and like look at it, and then as I get again into the routine of doing it, I'll start to kind of get used to doing it, and
Absolutely.
instead of being like I'm confused, I'll be in the motion of doing it.
That's the same way that you practice any other tech skill. You need to practice your like what you're going to do between and before sets.
Right.
Otherwise it's becoming a thing you do have to consciously think about. You know, when you play, you get to a point where you don't have to think about, you just react when you start to see a grab coming out. But there was a time when you had to consciously think about, what do I do next? What buttons do I push? And you were slower because of it.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for this. It'll start to come as you practice it.
Awesome.
And then, so that one should take about 3 minutes.
3 minutes? Okay.
Which pretty good between max time. And then your cool down, which is designed to be slow and relaxed, it starts out sitting and then it progresses to standing.
Okay.
So you're going to start with 10 seated twists, where you're just taking one arm and reaching across to the opposite knee.
Okay.
You'll be reaching. Cat is not in danger of being run over. Had to check. You're going to reach down and across.
So
Notice while I'm doing this, my head is turning up to where I'm turning. So it's a whole spine rotation.
I see.
Because after you've been sitting still for a while, I have no doubt whatsoever that your back, like anybody else's, gets a little bit stiff.
Yep.
Especially if, you know, do you play on stick or on pad?
I play on stick.
Okay. So you are slightly less susceptible to the lean forward onto
Like
your
this,
elbows, support
yeah.
all your body weight, like that trend. But you're still holding yourself pretty darn upright while you're sitting and playing.
Yep.
So it's definitely worth doing those back twisting stretches. Just like every other stretch, that should be not forced. It should feel relaxed, and it should be within whatever range you have available to you that day.
Okay.
The second one you're going to do is 10 seated versions of a cat camel. And so a standard cat camel is done in quadruped on all fours with your back rounding and arching.
Yes.
You're going to do a modified seated version of it so that you don't have to get down on the floor in your sort of settings. Like, that one might throw you off a little bit. Might throw other people off a little bit.
Look at this
Also,
girl
slow
over
and
here doing this crazy like stretch and yoga pose over here.
Yeah, why are other people doing yoga on the floor over here? No, what you'll be doing instead is you're going to slump down into a rounded posture and then arch up. Everything comes back, everything comes out. You might hear the occasional click or pop in your spine, and that's okay. Also, if you could see it right... All right, hold on. I really need to show this on video.
Copy.
My cat is also demonstrating how to stretch back here.
She is also doing the stretches. Sometimes I would lay my yoga mat down and my German Shepherd would lay on top of it. Yep. And I'm like, I guess you're doing downward dog now. You're also doing yoga with me. So animals they just gotta be a part of it.
Cats are very good at stretching and very good at relaxing. So she's an excellent mascot for this specific part of your routine.
Excellent.
So then after you've done the cat camels, you're gonna move to standing. You're going to do 30 seconds of a hip flexor stretch.
Okay. I'm actually gonna get up and do this one with you, but I'm gonna put my headphones down.
So you'll just lean forward. The important part here isn't so much what's going on with your front leg. I don't really care about your front leg other than making sure your knee doesn't bend forward too far.
Yep.
The important thing is that this back hip will be pushing down and forward towards the floor, really opening up this space right here.
Whoa.
Yep.
That feels really good, but I can also really feel it.
For those of us who spend a lot of time sitting, this is an excellent stretch. So you'll hold that for 30 seconds.
Okay.
You'll switch sides. And the nice things about this series of stretches that they should be pretty easy to do just about any venue space you have available to you.
Cool.
Even if for some reason you weren't able to get a chair, people really needed you out of your space so that they could play friendlies or something.
Yep.
You could absolutely do the spinal twists in standing. You'd be in a little bit of a squat. You could cross. You could cross.
Just like either way.
You could also do the, slump into bad posture, arch into good posture for your cat downward.
Kind of like that.
Yep.
Cool.
And then the last stretch you're going to do is for your IT band.
Okay.
Which, in folks with piriformis, piriformis being back here, for
Yep.
those who don't know what piriformis is, your IT band is out here.
Yep.
Folks with piriformis syndrome also often have pretty tight IT bands. So for you who's spending a long period of time sitting and you're already at risk for piriformis syndrome, we're going to add in an IT band stretch. So for that one, I'm actually going to angle the camera downward a little bit.
Okay.
The cat says hi.
Hi, kitty.
So you're going to cross your left foot in front of your right foot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to bend to your left.
Okay.
Go down into the left side. You'll feel the stretch across this side of your hip.
Okay, so you said right.
So cross your right foot behind your left.
Okay.
And then bend to the left. If you need to, sink that right hip out more to the side.
Oh, I feel that now.
Yep. This is one of those ones where occasionally you'll have to adjust how far forward or how far back you're rotated. But that should get it down the side of your leg and probably a little bit on the side as well. And after 30 seconds of that, you'll switch to the other side. If you've had an especially hyped match and you're a little bit shaky after it, I would recommend doing this stretch near a wall so that you can lean on something if you need to. I have definitely fallen over while doing this stretch.
It feels really good. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Especially for like having, just tight hammies and piriformis syndrome and all that other stuff. I can already feel that kind of stretch being very handy for me.
Yeah, so some of these are stretches that you might well find useful for non-gaming settings too. But I wanted to make sure that they were incorporated into your break routines.
Yeah.
Because I know there are areas that are going to get tight on you. So it stands to reason that when you're doing something stressful, intense, and competitive, you're going to tense up in kind of the areas that your body knows is this is where I carry tightness. This is where I carry stress.
Yeah.
Let me tighten these things.
Yes.
Which is, you kind of don't want them to be tight terribly. They're going to be uncomfortable if they get tight. So you've got kind of this in your back pocket, not only for workout routines, but also for your gaming routine.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you have a copy of that as well. You'll also be getting a picture guide copy of this.
Sweet.
Which should help a little bit. I was using the usual home exercise program builder that I use at work. For a whole bunch of these, they don't have a picture of how to do a pinky and ring finger biased wrist extension stretch well in a piriformis stretch. So I'll make my own there.
The new handicraft of Cait.
Yeah, so you're getting a custom workout program even.
Which is awesome, and I know that it's kind of funny because it's definitely things that I knew that you wanted to kind of write something that I could take, have at any major tournament, but something that I could take away in my everyday. And I mean, because I'm such an active person, having things like this at work when I'm like writing an order or sitting at the computer, I can be thinking about these things at that time as well.
Oh my gosh,
so.
I sit and document my notes in a piriformis stretch all the time.
Oh yeah, like I started, the leaning into the piriformis stretch, like in a chair. I've started doing that like a lot more, just to kind of get it stretched out, opened up, feeling better. But the hand thing is definitely going to help me because again, I'm doing a lot of data entry sometimes at work, so I'm still using my hands, and my pinky and ring finger are still kind of suffering in that way too. So
yeah. Absolutely. So do you have any questions about this?
No, that seems awesome, and I'm looking forward to really kind of seeing how that helps me throughout, all of my training and whatnot. So
yeah, and if you find that you are having any questions about it, or if there's something that's like persistently kind of irritating, shoot me a message. We can always chat about it.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
On that note, I think we're wrapping it up.
Yeah. I was going to say, I guess thanks to everybody who's kind of supporting Exo Academy so far. Week 1 is officially over! Yay! Yay! But it's been a good week, and it's been a long week. So thank you, Cait, for helping us out, and I'm looking forward to seeing both of our progress, like me and Romanova, and she seems just as excited. So thank you, everyone.
I wish you all the best in continuing to no upper.
Yes. Thank you. No upper!